Yes. Welcome to One Crack News. As we finna talk about Terrell Owens' decision, we did it on my live page, on my main page, but I'm gonna do it over here. Give you guys a chance to super chat and do a lot of other things over here on this news channel because we're gonna talk about the politics behind the actual incident that took place. Now, I mean, so without further wait, this is your guy, Carcino. Ah! I always wanted to do that. Don't get me started. We've had this discussion last night, and I almost shut down the live. Now, I will continue this on the main page, or I mean on my business page, because we're gonna go into the politics of things. So this will continue on the One Crack News page, and we're gonna go into the politics behind everything. But I like to thank everybody that showed up here on the Casino for Life page. But now we're gonna switch over to the other page. He enhanced it. Had he had a player such as of the caliber of Jerry Rice had with Joe Montana, okay? Jerry played the majority of his careers with Joe Montana. Won all his Super Bowls except for one with Joe Montana. Randy Moss had a superstar quality quarterback like that his entire career in Minnesota. He made Culpepper look like a star. They brought in Jeff George, guys who could just chuck the ball downfield because they thought that's what Randy wanted. But anyway, we going to leave to the other page because over there you can super chat, you can do other things. So I'm out. And catch y'all on One Crack News. We over there now. Deuces. And now we're here. And we're going to talk about the politics about what happened and why the NFL really didn't like what he did. See, the politics behind what happened is the reason why they want to change the old buddy system. Like the NHL has a rule in place to where players who over succeeded, like it was a no brainer, they were going to the Hall of Fame. They don't need a waiting period. Those guys are in the Hall of Fame. Those guys are in the Hall of Fame. That's the old rule that they came up with in the NFL years ago. No, some NFL players are allowed to vote. Some of the Hall of Fame members, Lofton runs, like the whole thing. Changes have been made, revisions have been made, but the politics behind it It's mostly Boston media and all these sports writers who don't play the sport, who's never played the sport, gets to decide the fate of the NFL players who go in. Which means that if somebody who they act like sports writers are non-biased, they don't have their favorites. So they're like, well, you got to be nice to the press. If you want them to do something, you got to be nice to the press because that's the way it used to go. Journalism used to control everything. Now journalism don't really control as much. Only specifics. Written journalism is dead. So everything now is social media. It's anarchy. They don't even do news anymore. They just go out there and do ranting on social media. So there's no real journalists anymore. Skip Bayless used to be a professional journalist. Now he just randomly, subjectively gives opinions. Everybody's opinion based now. So if everybody's opinion based and they're giving you their opinion consistently over and over again, all the shows were created like this. They got away from the journalistic standpoint of not having an agenda or expressing their agenda, nor are they biased. They say, well, we got one show that'll do that. But they wanted to stand on his back. They wanted to put a foot on T.O.'s back and make an example out of him. And because of that, you saw different things transpire. They have a system in place where a player is not supposed to undermine a team. They're not supposed to undermine the coach. They're not supposed to undermine the players on the team. They're supposed to keep a nucleus in place. Hold on. Their job is to keep a nucleus in place of control this, control that, and control this. Collins is a jerk who fed y'all false information. No, the thing is, I changed my mind because he never really fully explained why he wasn't showing up. It looked as defiant as I'm going to show them I ain't showing up. It was like, why would you do that? Just show up. Just show up to the event. I mean, but what could be your reason for not wanting to show up to talk to the fans that were waiting to see you so you can go in? But he wanted to set up something on his own terms and do something to make a stand, not just for him, but for other players to come around. So I understood his message because there's no way Dr. Death Brazil should have had to wait 20, 28, 29 years to get into the Hall of Fame. So for 28, 29 years, he had to think he might pass away and never get to a place that he was deserving to be in. There's a player that waited 49 years who played in Super Bowl one, played in Super Bowl one and two, and he ain't get into the Hall to now. That's 49 years. So that this you see they're trying to correct some of this Hall of Fame stuff. To me, it was disheartening to see because you know how hard people work. Hold on. That's what most people would say. But there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of writers in San Francisco and a lot of writers in Boston who don't like Terrell Owens. They think he's negative. They don't like the way he talked to the media. And that should never, ever dictate should a person get into the Hall of Fame. With his yardage, the things he did on the field gets you in there. And then publicly, these coaches, these assistant coaches, they hated Terrell Owens, but they spoke very highly of him. No, because we already knew he was blackballed. No one ever said Terrell Owens shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. We knew he should have been in the Hall of Fame as soon as he was available. That's a no-brainer. I can't name one person who thought Terrell Owens shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. So this was never the issue. The issue is in the manner in which, once he did get accepted, how he treated it, the situation. That's what became the issue. That's what became the talk. That's what became the moment. All he had to do was toe the line and do exactly what he did. That's all. Just toe the line. That's what they said, show the respect. And that's what they felt he needed to do. Toe the line, show respect, be there with the rest of your brothers, and show respect to the for being in the Hall of Fame and for all the players and your fans that got you in. That's all. Nobody asked him to go bail and pick up some cotton. Nobody told him to get over there in word. They didn't do that. But he wanted to do things his way. But he didn't express that until he actually got on that stage. And at his alma mater, the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and gave them all the shine, all the light. They named the street after him. He went on that stage and he told them exactly why he did it. He said, "The press wants you to believe that I'm mad because I didn't get in first ballot Hall of Fame." He said, "This is a lie. It's not a lie. It's some truth to that. He would have loved, he deserved to be first ballot, just like Randy was first ballot. Him not getting that and getting passed over twice, that was insulting to him and his legacy." Now, he also brought to the fact that the reason why he's not on that podium, and the reason he said, "I'm not going up there," it had everything to do, and I mean everything, to do with the simple fact they keep people on ice for years. There's no way a player should 49 years to go to the Hall, 28, 29 years to get to the Hall of Fame. That is ridiculous. So until they correct these writers and sports writers who are doing it or rewriting the rule, he's shining a light on it. So he shined a light on the entire situation. If Randy Moss didn't get in this year, first ballot, would T.O. be, let me see it, would T.O. be at the Canton? No. One thing I know about Terrell Owens from watching him in interviews and watching him is that he's pretty headstrong and he's pretty hell bent on something. And he's hell bent at the media. He's not very good at forgiving. He still would have done exactly what he just did. He would have made the whole event about him. Why he not coming? He would have stood up there and talked to the people on the main stage. I wouldn't say he's jealous. I would say he's very competitive. If Moss do something, he want to be getting off too. Like if they giving it to Moss, he got to get it. Now, did the NFL put Randy in first ballot just to spite T.O.? Absolutely, too. There's some truth to that. That's the politics of it. The writers is like, you know what would really tick Terrell Owens off? Okay, we're going to put him in. We're going to put him in. We're getting a lot of pressure to put him in, but we're going to put him in with Randy Moss. Ross is going first ballot. Yeah, that'll tick him off. Writers think like that. These sports writers think like that. It's a whole room that votes, and it's another room in the back that make the decisions. So for Terrell Owens to think that it's just a bunch of these media writers getting together and they deciding everything, oh, the end all be alls of who's going into the Hall of Fame, that's just an illusion. It's deeper than that. No, Randy Moss and like Shannon Sharp said, now he's I didn't know Randy was this deep in faith. I didn't know he was this close to family and God. Aren't you a journalist on TV? Weren't you a sports journalist? What Randy Moss did you know? Come to find out you didn't know Randy Moss. And Randy Moss had to tell you, bruh, you sound like you got a problem with me. You need to give me a call. We need to talk. So he knew what Randy Moss was because him and Randy Moss had a conversation on the phone because he was bashing Randy Moss on TV every day. Good morning, Mr. Sled. So he had to let you know there's politics to all of this. And we are here, fellas, so that you guys can super chat over here. They won't let you super chat over there. They mad at me for something. I don't know what I done did, but something ain't right. Something in the wall. Mm, sorry about that. The Eagles missed out on the dynasty. Well, I blame Terrell Owens for the entire situation for the Philadelphia Eagles. I blame him for the majority of the Eagles. I mean, the issues in San Francisco. I don't blame him for Dallas. The politics I blame in Dallas. Jerry did not want to let T.O. go because he knew what T.O. brought to the team. But he listened to the coaches, Tuna and all the rest of them, who thought, because his assistant coaches was like, he's got to go. So they made the decision collectively to get rid of Terrell Owens. So collectively, it was stupid, but they did what they did. Well, Jason Witten and T.O. had a disagreement because it was part of the reason why Dallas lost every year. Think about it. All Terrell Owens, all Tony Romo passes that were intercepted returned back to pick sixes. He was normally going to Jason Witten. Jason Witten was slower than molasses, and players with any type of speed, linebackers or whatever, they normally catch the ball, run it to the house. So if you TO, it's like, why do you keep targeting Jason Witten all the time? Witten is not going to break away and beat nobody for tackles. And you wonder why the Dallas Cowboys hadn't been to a Super Bowl since 1992. You guys have probably never seen the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. This is why. Under Tony Romo, this is what he does. He's a check down guy. He takes a couple of reads, then he focuses in on Witten. Oh, because he whooped up Hugh Douglas from the Eagles when he came in there to fight T.O. in the locker room and T.O. gave him the business. T.O. was injured. He in there rehabbing the injury. And Hugh Douglas, who's the enforcer on the defense, came in there and thought he was gonna muscle Terrell Owens. And he found out something else. Next thing you know, he got the stake over his eye. I slipped. T.O. wasn't going for nobody putting their hands on him, man. Gave him the flu flux. Uh, uh. Well, situations always change when it comes to Terrell Owens or Terrell. He's sensitive about if you say his name. If you call him Terrell Owens, he gonna have a fit. It's Terrell. I'll be like, well, it ain't spelt like Terrell, but okay. Somebody once asked me, they said, do you feel Like, do you feel that this is a situation in which it will make change within the NFL? Because some people say, what about, what about oh yeah, for you guys who just got here, the super chat button is wide open. People are saying, like, what about other players such as, they had other players in the game in the mix at that time, such as I can't think his face right now. Like Andre Bad Moon Rising. Andre Rising. What about him? I hear people mention that a lot. What about Andre Rising? Andre Bad Moon Rising and all these other players. Hopefully it shines a spotlight on the subject. Now you're shining this big spotlight now on the sports media world. But like I told you, it's just like what happened to the USA basketball, Isaiah Lord Thomas III and the Dream Team. There was no way in hell Isaiah Lord Thomas should have been kept. When he said Kansas City Chief Andre Rison, wow. Kansas City Chief Andre Rison. Did he just say that? When you say Andre Bad Moon Rising, you talk about the Atlanta Falcon, Andre Rising. I don't think he's Hall of Fame. I got to look at his numbers, but I don't think Andre Rising's Hall of Fame. Kansas City ain't where he made his bones. His career is known for Left Eye burning his house down. But this happened back with Isaiah Lord Thomas III. There was a room of voters who voted for Isaiah to be the starting point guard. John Stockton was not in the equation. So Isaiah, who was a two-time NBA champion at that time, it wasn't like in the past. This was current. MVP of the finals just a year prior. And you're talking about not putting him in the doggone USA basketball team because Michael Jordan didn't agree and didn't want to see him on the team. Or he wasn't going to play. They could have went in that game without Michael Jordan, but they did not want to make this move without having Michael Jordan there. And I'm saying to myself, these people are so stupid. Do they not know Michael Jordan's going to participate? He's going to participate any which way it go. Michael Jordan would have been kicking himself right now because the Dream Team's going to win with or without Michael Jordan. Period. But this is the scenario that played itself. Similar situation here. And a light would shine on, and they wanted to make that correction down the road, the NBA. They felt shamed that this actually happened. And it was magnified in the public. This was something that happened back door that they expected to happen back door. Now you had something that happened very public in front of the rest of the world, and now people know that these writers are putting the people in the NFL and the Hall of Fame way too late. It's 28 years, 49 years. That's wrong. They shouldn't be in. And just like this, the NHL for certain players like Randy Moss, they shouldn't have to wait no 5 years. They should be in the Hall right away. Tom Brady come up, Hall. Why wait 5 years? Something can happen to them in 5 years. Life ain't guaranteed. Get these people in when they supposed to get in. Like they said, let them get the flowers while they can still smell them. Yeah, but there's certain reasons why certain people can't be in. Darren Sharper is definitely Pro Football Hall of Fame stuff, but look what happened with Darren Sharper. They're not gonna put Darren Sharper in there. You understand? Darren Sharper is definitely Hall of Fame material, but he's never going into the Hall of Fame. No one questions that. He got the numbers, but there's a morality clause that you cannot be going to the Hall of Fame when you're doing stuff that he's done. I believe that could be CTE. He could have some damage or some suffering going on. But because of what happened to him, you could see the stress all over his face. His face was all sunk in. He's drained, dude. Completely just worn down. So I see what it's done to him. Okay. Nobody's made a super chat donation. So I have nobody to thank for the super chat donation. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this down. I thank all of you for showing up though. Oh, Mr. Sledge did it right when I was gonna shut it down. I was gonna shut it down. Thanks. Chi-Town in the house. Chi-Town gonna look out for Chi-Town. You was the reason I stayed up and made all these videos. Oh man, Mr. Blackman keeping me on there. All right. What y'all want to talk about, Mr. Blackman? Goo, what's up, Goo Roach? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. What's up, Cliff? Okay, you guys wait till the end. Y'all wait till I'm about to check out to show up. They like we always on time. So what is it you want to talk about? Now let's talk about Tinashe. This is the truth behind the pop R&B singer Tinashe and why her career is spiraled down into the toilet. Okay, Tinashe had a promising career ahead of her when she came out, many thought, because of her dancing talents and all this stuff. But Tinashe problem was Tinashe. She always felt entitled. She thought she had to make all these songs. They thought they looked at her as a generic version of Maya. That was just the truth. They thought she was another Maya and doing all her stuff. So Tinashe came along, and every time she would come up and do something, it would be overshadowed by somebody who was a stronger singer, had better choreography, everything else. So the managers kept trying to improve her. Her promotional company did, her record labels, and she had pushed back of her album Joyride, all that stuff. And then she had her new project called, was it Najee? And it got halted by the music label. And everybody is like, "What's going on? This is so baffling." Her fans, they want to know what's going on. This is terrible news. Why are they doing this to her career? Well, there's a lot of reasons why this didn't go the way they thought. You know, reason number one, she's crazy. She starts giving speeches to the reason why her career is not going the way it's going is because she's mixed. Really? Really? That's why your career is not taking off? Is because you're a mixed girl? Uh, take a look around. Everybody looks like you more than they look like doggone somebody Anita Baker. There's more singers that look light skinned like you that are mixed than you think. So try another excuse. All the soul sisters, they didn't put them on they background singers. They the one with the voices, but they gotta put you out there. They want that Mariah Carey. She never could accept the fact she wasn't that good. Now, that's terrible because she never could break into the industry really. You know, and she always had this thing where it's such a stressful business. The reason why it's so stressful is because none of her music really stood out. It sounded a little like Ashanti. It sounded a little like Maya. No song she made really stood out. It just didn't. So it's not. What song from her do you really think about? You look at her, right? SWV ish type of. They thought of her when they signed her to the record deal. They looked at her as another Aaliyah. She's skinny, petite, make people think of Aaliyah. She could dance. Let's have her kind of rebellious, standoffish, and that ruined her. It completely ruined her. She had no identity. So Ben Simmons realized she was crazy, dated her for like 2 weeks. So they came right in and did what they did. Oh, you did too, Carlos. What's up, Los? Realized she was nuts, crazy. So I did go. I did go. Um, the thing is, that thing is it's connected to a lot of stuff that can't be just shouted out. You understand? I try to go around some of the stuff, but I did see it. The girl said that she didn't care nothing about Ben, and he dumped her for the Kendall Jenner girl who just broke up after dating Blake Griffin for a while. And there you have it. So, oh, she's beyond crazy. She starts stalking Ben, going to places he's going, and going to restaurants he's going. So he had to get extra security because he's like, I don't know what's going on with this girl. And TMZ's following her around. She's just all excited because all the situations that's happening around her. She's like, yes, I'm getting the attention, the buzz. And her record label don't want to put her music out. So normally when all this is going on, the record company be thrilled to put your music out. They must don't like the music. That's all I could really tell you. They must don't like the music. So something's wrong there. But their failed project, and they've been throwing money after money after money into this a thing, but it could look like Aaliyah, it could move like Aaliyah, it's just not Aaliyah. So yes, now they're cutting my grass. So I want to shut this down. uh you think I want that alien looking girl? No way. I just did it, Cliff. I just did a truth behind video right there. You just heard it live. You need to do a truth behind video. I just gave you a truth behind video live, right here in front of your face. And the first thing you said is, I need to give you a truth behind video. I just did one right in front of you. Who's T.O.? What's different about this one? Let's just say it's more into the business. Well, in fact, look at the timeline of this page and go down and you'll see a whole thing. What's wrong with one crack news? You only get one crack at this. So, is it named after Kevin Durante? The Durante Mall. Y'all in here got me cracking up reading these comments. I'm just reading the comments, cracking up, looking at y'all. MJ supports LJ. Oh, Dr. Pimpin, we've been on here for an hour. You come at the tail end of it. You want to do something, Dr. Pimpin, since Pimpin? Put something in the super chat. We running on fumes. Trump brought up Michael Jordan name to spite LeBron. Why else? They always compare him to LeBron James. Always comparing himself to Michael Jordan. They keep putting that in the stats. You know, Trump only watched Sports Center. He ain't watching CNN. He don't want to watch nothing that's pertaining to what's going on around the world. He want to watch sports. Look, they say LeBron's better than Jordan. That's bullshit. Mr. Sledge, I know you seen my live chat video about that. If he said that, that's too vague. When you say Mike, everybody know you mean Jordan. Period. Kahari, you too young for to have a girlfriend. You like 15. What is you talking about? It's like, don't worry, my paper is great. Uh-oh, don't get Mr. Sledge started. Kahari, you know you are not no 23. No way. Burundi has found the right person. Well, it's not a good idea. It's nice that she wants to do everything, but it's in the end, it ultimately won't work out. Yep. Frank never had love. That's right, Mr. Wade. Kahari had to go find that. He was like, wait a minute, let me see how long 23 years would be. I was born in 1995. Now I just gotta find you gotta find the right person to marry. You just can't up and get married just because your homeboys getting married or man, everybody getting married around me. It's not just getting your money right, getting yourself right. If you got a team together, y'all can make money. So if financially, yeah, if you want to get yourself right, that's a good thing. That's always a good thing because it helps lessen the stress. Because you don't want to have financial things, everything going good for you. Then all of a sudden you run into a spot where it's not going good. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. Things are not going good right now. And all of a sudden you need some help. And then you start seeing another side. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to start to see that other side of the other person. You understand? And you don't want to be married to find that out. So sometimes you guys can go ahead and help each other out. Not everybody's going to be millionaires. You know what I'm saying? But you can have a great life, be a successful life, you know. Oh, Rexel. Oh, you're gonna see that video. We're gonna do that live. We're gonna do that on the main page. I'm going on the big stage. We're gonna talk about that Cam and Kelvin Benjamin. But thanks, Rexel. All you gotta do is hit that super chat button. It should be a dollar sign down there. Make a donation to the page, and we'll keep this thing moving right along. Marriage is a bad investment if you got the bad business partner. Yeah. See, I won't completely dump on marriage, and that's what people want me to do. I just don't want to completely do that. 'Cause there are some people that are happy married. They love being married. They think this is where it needs to be, and they're happy. They like doing getting a I am the number one dad grill shirt. They want to work the grill. They want to clean their grill. They happy. They got a camper and they go and doing stuff with the wife and we're going to the comedy club tonight. They love hanging out double dates. Some guys are actually like that. A guy would trip over and fall down if he couldn't get to a grill. Morning, scrubs. I don't need 5 wives. I need 5 maids. Uh-oh, don't go broke on us, Mr. Sledge. Frank said you ain't got no money. Don't go broke out here. My piston header is behind door number 3. Frank don't take vacation. His vacation for Frank is driving to somebody's house and staying there for a couple of nights. I'm on vacation. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. Yeah, you probably in Henderson, Nevada. I live in Henderson, Nevada. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. I'm getting in the car, drive 15 minutes. No, I'm in Vegas. He went to Guadalajara. And you came back in one piece, Mr. Sledge. You are a survivor. Should have got me a Shiva shirt. At least snuck back one of them Shiva's Coca-Colas. See, women love trips. Nothing says I love you like a trip. That bill, I'll be focused on that bill and how much we spent. That's right. I'm always fighting to get my paper right. I took a financial hit over the weekend and still is getting my paper right. Every day is a mission to get my paper right. Exactly. All you got to do is tell a chick, yeah, I'm going out of town this weekend. A chick look at my Facebook page and think that's me taking trips all the time. I rarely take pictures and post stuff on Facebook or the gram. I was like, well, let me post this on the gram and see. This is some stuff I did. So they see all this stuff. They think I just spend time just traveling and partying. People are like, oh my God, you was with Mayweather. Oh my God. Take me with you, big baller. Absolutely, I agree with his decision. What's up, Ronnie? I see you. Well, everybody knew what Ray Lewis didn't say nothing really special than what he always said. You knew you were going to church when when Ray Lewis was going to speak. So it was nothing new that was going to shock the world. You going to see Celine Dion? You supposed to be going to see J Lo in Vegas. I only like 3 songs J Lo made, but I get to see some J Lo. Since the incident, he's been like this. He's been this Ray ever since that incident. When you survive going to jail for a murder to the next year winning a Super Bowl, then winning the one on your last year of being in the league, you'll feel a little bit like that too. You know what? Since you guys have donated and you guys have been here, Rexel, I mean Rel X, Mr. Sledge, y'all want to talk about it? We can talk about the Kelvin Benjamin thing right here. Why wait? Why wait? Shut down. Go to another page. It's unnecessary. You know, that's a country name, Kelvin, and he just lost his mother, so he's probably going through it. So when you see a situation where a player and a receiver, it's always a player and a receiver because that's the guy who got to get him the ball. So if a receiver's career starts to dwindle down, it's because him and his quarterback has fallen out of communication and they fight. You knew when Brady and Moss had problems when Randy Moss went a game without a catch and he only was thrown to one time. That's Randy Moss. There's definitely some problems. So now you look at somebody who they drafted who was very young when they drafted him, brought him into the circle and said, you know what? This is the guy we trust. We want to bring you in. We want you to be the guy. They had high hopes for Benjamin when they drafted him. It was a good decision. He got a big target to throw to. Everybody was like, oh, this is going to be crazy. Calvin Benjamin and the man right there, they're going to put Calvin Benjamin in there with, man, it's going to go down. It is about to go down. He came in the league his first year, coming out of Florida State. He weighed 243 pounds, 6'5", from Belgrade, Florida. Everybody was like, oh, this guy here, he gonna be something. Then he goes in, they weigh everybody. He weighs in at 276 pounds, the second camp. He gets injured his rookie year. He had a decent year, got hurt. Cam won MVP that year. And when Cam is trying to teach him things on the court, on the field that he should know, it's obvious that Cam Newton knows what he's doing. I'm not going to say Cam is the most accurate passer in football. He does make mistakes on the field, a lot of them. But let's be realistic here. Kelvin Benjamin was not in shape to play football, mentally and physically. And the mental part of it is what broke him down. And the Buffalo Bills is what, did all this stuff. But, they were not happy with what just happened. But the fact is, he just buried his mom, so he's not in a good mind state to be out here making statements, so that's another thing. But Cam won MVP without you being on the field to make that happen. So when Cam made the webcam response telling this man to work, that's exactly what he meant. But Kelvin Benjamin, who came in out of shape and was trying to play himself in shape, that's how you get hurt. Now, this is a guy who just came off of losing his mom. People just remember the one thing he said. He was like, I mean, this is his actual quote. I'm gonna read it to you guys. I mean, I felt like I wouldn't have even I would have been even more successful if I don't know, man. If I would have looking back on it, if I would have just been drafted by somebody else. I should have never went to Carolina. Truly. I just think Carolina was bad for me. It was a bad fit from the get-go. If you would have just put me with any other quarterback, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Any other accurate quarterback like Rodgers, Eli Manning, or Big Ben, anybody. Quarterbacks with knowledge that know how to place a ball and give you a better chance to catch the ball. I just feel like I wasn't in that position. So when he went that way route that he just did, it got turned into a negative. And it went from a guy who was lashing out rather than a guy who was looking to blame everybody else instead of a guy who lost his mom and he's just went off, because he doubled down. He was like, everybody was like, man, you crazy. He was like, I'm just crazy then. I was the one who buried my mom and skipped the grievance process to get back and help that team. Let's be real. It was all fake. And to be honest, I was salty. Who wouldn't be? I just been holding it all in and now I'm free. Hate me or love me. So he was mad about the situation. But you're a Buffalo now. You're a Buffalo Bill. Make the most of it. Like they say, man, just work. His mom passed away and then he came back to play. Now he missed the entire 2015 campaign because of a torn ACL, and his involvement in the offense faded during the past 2 years. He recorded 32 catches in 8 contests with Carolina. He was traded last season before, because he was coming into camp 280, out of shape, and he's trying to play himself into shape, and he was looking like crap. If you look at the tape and look at him on the field, he looked like crap. In June, he informed the Panthers that he wanted to leave. He wanted to get moved. He didn't want to be there no more. And he's like, I didn't want to be there no more. Nah, I just felt like they weren't featuring me no more. I wasn't their number one, but I wasn't getting my number one targets if I was their number one. So Brandon Bean, who previously worked in Carolina, admitted the receiver wasn't a good fit with the Panthers. And that's Brandon Bean. He used to be in the front office in Carolina before he became the general manager of the Buffalo Bills. And he's like, I don't think it was a perfect marriage at the time. And there was a lot of reasons in that. There's a lot of avenues for blame. I know when he's healthy what he can do. And you can't coach size, length that he has, and that's a weapon to defend. So they're trying to blame it on his health. But you're not helping yourself when you come in out of shape. You're not helping yourself when you come in every summer and trying to work off all this weight and you're using the season to try to get in shape. And Cam's putting the ball where you think that you should be able to jump to catch it, and you're not coming down with the ball. You're not winning on the line. You're not getting separation. You're not helping your quarterback. So if you're not doing your part of helping your quarterback, well, we'll see what happened in Buffalo. This should motivate you to really be successful. So we'll see how it plays out from here. But he should really have a breakout monster year.